What is up, everybody? Today we have part two with the woman, the myth, the legend, Andrea. What's up, fam? How are you doing? Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm
Yes,
excited.
ma'am. So last time we spoke, I believe it was like 3 weeks in, and you were killing it. I knew that you were going to be somebody who really dove into this journey and was successful. And so we're 6 months in now, and you are what was the number?
I think
Uh,
it's almost 27 pounds, 27 pounds down.
Let's take it. Yeah, 27 pounds. 27 pounds down, which is so 211 to your lowest of 184. Yeah, math not my thing, but 27 pounds down. And you're killing it. Okay. So first off, dude, I just want to say that you're amazing for just coming in and like really buying in and trusting us. It takes time to trust us, right? Even at the beginning. Um, but you did it. You literally put your head down and you've completely transformed your perspective, your mental, physical, everything. Like you're a new human being. So just want to give you that. So here's my first question for you, Andrea. And like listen, before we started working together, what was your biggest misconception about weight loss that you had, right? In terms of, eating clean is what I need to do or changing my workouts. So what were your misconceptions then? And where are they at now, right? Kind of what do you think now? What is your thought process behind it now?
Yeah. I definitely didn't take into consideration like the reverse dieting. I don't think people understand how important that is. And I think when you sign up to like start working with somebody like you jump in and you think like, oh, I'm gonna lose a bunch of weight because I have a coach now, right? And like that does happen for some. But I think too that like some of us that have like yo-yo dieted our whole lives, like the importance of reverse dieting and actually getting your hormones in check, especially for us females and stuff like that, really is going to set up that foundation. And I think it's great too because you get to like practice with macros. And I say practice because like macros are always important, but you definitely have to be like more spot on during your fat loss phase. So I think that like when you jump in, you think like, oh, I'm gonna lose a bunch of weight, but like the reverse dieting is something I never like thought of or appreciated before. I was always like, I'm going to eat like 1400 calories and I'm going to do all this cardio and I'm not going to eat carbs. Like that was my thing. Like I knew I could lose weight if I stopped eating carbs, but then I would like on the weekend go eat carbs, right? Because it's just not sustainable. And so you just like lose this weight, gain this weight, lose this weight, gain this weight. And that's kind of what I was doing before, like no carbs, but running all the time. I was lifting weights. Like I enjoyed like the weightlifting part, but not like pushing myself to failure, which is something that you guys preach. Like
Yeah.
knowing that I can go into the gym and do 2 sets of something and just like kill myself and like actually get the same results as being there for like an hour
Yep.
has been awesome too. So like those different things I was doing before like wasn't getting me the results that I was looking for. So that's why I sought out for you guys. So
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And what was the reason why you did say hell yes and decided to, right? Because like even before we worked together, you still are like, all right, reverse dieting, I'm eating more food. Um, is this guy crazy? Right. So
yeah.
really what gave you that like hell yes? We had a really good call and but just like kind of what made you trust us?
Yeah,
This is a
yeah.
big
I
deal.
think I think for like me, I've reached a point in my life where, I'm going to be 38 soon and I've got a child and I have a big career and I want to feel good about myself mentally, physically, emotionally, right? And I had gotten to the point where like I was just like wearing myself out being on my own, right? Like I'm trying all these things. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying in like my personal life. I'm trying in my motherhood. I'm trying in my career. And I just needed someone to be like, I've got you. Like I'm gonna do this for you and like I'm gonna set you up and you just go do it. Like I was tired of like figuring out my workouts and my cardio and what should I eat today. And I just needed you to like say like, okay, I've got this whole plan. You just have to like buy in and do it. And that's like
Yeah.
what I needed. I needed someone to take that burden off of me.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. 100%. So coming into it, you were just ready for change.
Mhm.
Now, once again, I could have been a coach. I could have been anybody. I could be, hey, go do 10 hours of cardio a day, eat less food. So it's cool. Just like the fact that you were able to kind of see what we did. You're like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. And that seems to be the story now is like, you see how this works. You feel, so this is a question I want to ask. Do you feel like you are in control of your own body now. And did you ever feel that before? Like, so it's hard to, how far can we look back, right? And what is control? Control would, to me, means just being able to know what's happening to your body, being in tune with your body. So do you feel like back in control with what, like with your body? I guess, yeah, just with that.
Yeah, I think with like the eating part helps you gain control. Like that's one aspect of it
Yeah.
too, right? So like I felt so restricted that like if we would have a carry-in at work or if I would travel or if I would do whatever, um, like I wouldn't be able to participate in certain things like pizza day or like whatever, right? And if we are going out to an Italian place, I'm like, crap, what am I gonna eat? Because I
And you
wasn't
are a
like eating
social
carbs to lose
woman.
weight.
You
Yeah.
have a lot of friends. You are
I
a social
love,
woman.
and you know that, like, I love people and I love to entertain. I love to socialize. So, like, that was really hard for me. And I felt like I didn't have control and I felt like I was going to lose on my progress. The beauty of this is like when you're reverse dieting, like, there is flexibility in what you can and cannot do, and then when you go into fat loss, there's just choices you have to make. Like, you are in control of your own destiny and you're in control of, like, I'm either gonna bomb it today and gonna have horrible results, or I'm gonna like try to stick to it. But say I want to go eat that piece of bread or like
I
go
was
eat
gonna,
that pasta, like you can work it in, you just have to sacrifice somewhere else. You know what I mean? So I think that's the nice part is like if I want to have ice cream at night or like something like that, I'm gonna have to like work it in and like sacrifice somewhere else for my end goal, whatever that is, right? It's like my end goal is to lose weight. So like how am I going to get there? So that's probably been the biggest thing is like that's my control. But then at the same time too, just like understanding your body and knowing like for females, like what time of the month that it is. Or I think us like we go through so many like emotions. But one thing that you have preached is like consistency, right? Like show up for yourself, be consistent, even on the days that doesn't feel like you want to go do it, just show up because even when I do that, I walk out of the gym and I'm like, I'm so glad I did that and I can check the boxes for the day.
yeah.
But still, like I just think you're all of those choices that you're like you have control over, are either gonna get you to where you want to go, or if you don't do those things, you're not gonna get to where you want to go.
Yeah, and and that's another thing too is like we're okay with that. We're okay with you, Andrea, saying, "Hey, I have this vacation. I'm gonna be probably not the. I'm not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna go enjoy food, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna have a fluctuation, right? I'm not gonna be perfect, and that decision, right? You made a decision. Okay, right? I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the fluctuation. When I get back, I know it's going to come down. So that too is just another angle because listen, this is why you're so great though, Andrea, is because you are somebody who's like, hey, like I do look at this as I'm going to make it happen no matter what. Like if I want the ice cream, I will take something else out because you still want to hit them. You still want results. So
Yeah.
you like, it's everybody has their own like, okay, what's worth it, right? Do I want to go out for the weekend? Do I want to be do I want to eat like an a-hole, which is fine. It's okay. You're going to see a big fluctuation though, as long as you know that and know that nothing needs to change. We just get back to it. So I think that's like, one of the coolest things. Cause even, recently here, we had a vacation. We had a vacation. You traveled and you went from 189 to 192. I'm actually going to share the screen here so people can see what the scale looks like, guys. So this is with reverse dieting and tracking macros. So increasing her food. How many calories did we go up, Andrea?
I think we went up to 2,400 calories.
20, 2,400
Yeah,
calories, guys.
it was mind blowing.
So and listen, the scale go down. We see here kind of scale down, and then we see this flatline effect, okay, which is something we always talk about is once you get closer to maintenance, you will flatline, right? But going back to the point, Andrea said, hey, I'm going out of town. Boom. We had a 5-pound fluctuation. For some people that might like, if let's say you are on your own, you probably would have been like, oh man, I got to go eat 1,200 calories and do an hour of cardio to make up for this.
Mhm.
So as you can see here, you just got back on track, right? Boom, all the way down. Boom, we made changes and like we can take this wherever we want, right? So I just wanted to kind of show the visual of that and show, you made a choice. Like I'm on vacation, like I'm not going to be perfect. It's really hard to be perfect, and that's okay. So yeah, that was great. So okay, you're a career driven woman. Your career matters to you. It means a lot. How have you found that being busy, have you felt like you were able to still reverse diet and track your macros? Has it felt like your career is suffering, or has it actually helped you kind of with your routine? Where are you at with that, with being busy and reverse dieting and macros?
Yeah, So I'm a very scheduled person. Like if something's on my calendar, it's not going to happen. So I physically go into my work calendar and I block out time for me to go to the gym, because if I don't, people will add meetings to my calendar and things like that. And I obviously then doing that, I have to know that like sometimes I do work outside of regular business hours, right? Because it's important for me to get to the gym at a time where the gym is slower. So I can get in and get out. I'm a very like get in, get out, get done with it type
Yep.
of person. So I do schedule it into my day. Sometimes it's on my lunch break, sometimes it's in the morning, like whatever my schedule looks like. I do go in the week before and like block out time on my calendar to do that. So that's how it works for me. I also have like friends at work that are also into fitness that we like talk about what we're doing. We talk about like what our goals are. We talk about things like that. So just like aligning with friends and stuff that have the same goals as you do. I think that's important too.
Yeah.
Um, I also have a coach at work. So I'm a part of this leadership program. So I have like a
Yeah.
professional coach. And she says to me, like, how we have a big team event coming up in September and it's in Ireland. And she asked me one time, like a couple weeks ago, she's like, so how do you want to show up for this event in Ireland? Because I'm meeting like 20 other executives from work. And like in my mind, I think, how do I want to show up like professionally, but how do I also want to show up physically, right? So that's been motivating for me too, is
Yes.
like this doesn't only affect my personal life, which is huge in my mentality, but it also does like show like it does in turn help me with my professional life and how I'm showing up when you walk into a room. Like, what is your confidence level? Who are you going to go talk to? Like, it does help your professionalism in that point too. That's what I think.
Yeah, dude, you know how much easier it is to go speak in front of people if you are feeling confident as
Yeah.
heck.
Hmm.
Just like for me, right? I have to talk in front of people all the time. I talk to people all the time. I make sure that like I'm feeling the best about myself. Cause if I mean Andrea, right? Like when you speak, you're
Hmm.
speaking in Ireland.
Yeah.
And if you did not feel confident or like that, just now you have that to think about, that takes space
Yeah.
subconsciously. Anyways, that's amazing. So at like even being busy, this actually is something that you can improve your career, not because of us, not because of 5280 training, right? Just because you are feeling better about yourself. I just
Yeah.
want to like make sure like it's not, this isn't like, hey, I'm going to separate us out of it and just put like, okay, what you've done that build this, that like confidence does have an effect in your career, which you care about and you were successful and you want more and you want better, you want bigger. Like that's why Andrea is successful.
Yeah.
And so we kind of touched on traveling a little bit. Like, and I kind of want to hear your thoughts. How did you feel about traveling before, and how do you feel about it now? Right? You know, just a little bit more peace of mind when you go out. Like, kind of what's take me through that.
Yeah, I think it's like a mental thing. Like you have to know that you're not going to be perfect, right? Like these different things, like sometimes you don't have control over like a lot of the meetings are catered lunches or like you're grabbing breakfast at Starbucks. I think that understanding macros and how they work is important. Like you need to know what's a carb, what's a fat, what's a protein. Like you need to understand like what you're plugging into MyFitnessPal and what that means, because when you don't like have like say when I travel, I might not plug everything into MyFitnessPal, but I know like I need to have a higher protein meal this morning because tonight we're gonna go do whatever and I'm gonna go
Yeah,
have some wine or like other things and I need to make sure
exactly.
I'm hitting my protein before. So those things are important. And I also I am the type, I'm a planner, you know that about me. I am so
Yeah,
type A, but I do like check out the gyms and like I will find a buddy that also likes to work out. So like we stay accountable to hitting the gym like in the morning before like a whole day of work sessions when we're traveling and stuff like that. Like in airports, I do try to like just get in my steps, right? Like instead of just sitting at a gate, like I wear my tennis shoes and I will literally just like walk up and down. So like there are things that you can do and you're not the only person doing it. Like there are other people that are fitness minded that are wanting to do those things too in airports and when they travel. So it's aligning yourself with like the right people, but also like knowing what you're putting into your body and what that's going to be. And you might have fluctuations when you're gone. That's just normal, but also understand like it's water weight. It's just a week or two, it's not that big of a deal. So
yeah. Basically, what I like to say is, you know, let's say you have a vacation on a weekend, it just pushes back, it pushes everything back a week, which is
yeah.
fine. So really quick, before we started working together, what happened when you traveled? What would you do? What was your mindset?
Yeah. I would definitely like I would say before I met you, I kind of got to this place where like I kind of had given up for a while. Like
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna go eat whatever I want. I'm gonna go drink whatever I want. And things like that. But when I would show up the next day, like I wasn't as confident as I could be, right? Or like when we would have those meetings, like, what am I gonna wear? What am I gonna like? I was stressed about how I would show up like mentally and physically because I wasn't my best self, you know?
Yeah.
But I really didn't stress over like the eating part just because I was just in like such a bad headspace where I was just like, whatever, I don't care. Like previously when I was like super like focused and like eating low carb, yeah, it was stressful for sure. It was stressful.
Yeah. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory there. Like it was just stressful. Um, you know, going on a trip and feeling like you can't really even enjoy it. Cause dude, traveling, what's the best part about traveling? At least for me, I love experiencing food, good places to eat. And that's just me. But for everybody, right? Food, like we love food. We're human beings.
Yeah, I know.
It's literally like happiness on a chemical level. So yeah, I think that's great. Two more questions for you, Andrea. One is, what was your relationship with the scale like before? And what is it now? Not going to be perfect. I still struggle. We all still have those. We're human beings. But take me through where you're at right now with the scale.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I feel like before I was never one to like step on the scale every day, but I do feel like that's been good for me just to kind of like know your body better.
And use it as
There are
data. I like
some
to say that it's like data, not, it's
It's
just
just
data.
data. Yeah, like it's just one point. And I think like even today I like sent you my pictures of like my first pictures and like my pictures today. Like that's just another data point, right? Like there's all of this information that helps you get to where you're going. My relationship with this scale like wasn't great because my weight obviously just like kept going up or like I just give up. Um but then now there are some days now too where I'm like, man, I've done so good. Like, why am I not seeing the progress that I want to see? But I think too is like your body does start to accommodate for like the changes that you're making, right? And that's why it's so important to have a coach to take a look at all of the data and to see like, okay, where do we need to make changes? Because
Yes.
before when we're talking about like step counts, like I think you said like maybe in another couple weeks we'll like up your steps. Like that's nothing I would have like done on my own before to think that like that's I need to work through. So yeah, it's definitely gotten better. It's just a data point. And I also know like even though I might not see the number I was hoping to see, like that eventually will come in time. And so not to like stress out about it or anything like that. So like it doesn't
Yeah.
stress me out anymore. I'm just like it is what it is. So
Yeah, dude. I think that's so you touched on that point there at the very end. It's like, okay, we all have this number. We all have this like, okay, this look, but like, do you have the utmost confidence that wherever you want to go, we can get you?
absolutely. Yeah,
Like we
absolutely.
literally have like the absolute 100% control over what you see,
Yeah.
over the results you see in terms of like now, like metabolically, right? So fat loss phase, we're at 1,500 calories, just so everybody knows right now. We are in a fat loss phase. We've made two changes, or we've made changes. Cardio, so just a rundown, guys, of cardio. We have going to it right now. You mentioned it was about, because we're doing calories. So we do 300 calories burn, guys. And
Mhm.
this is 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 cardio sessions. And we didn't start it there, right? This is like since changing and upping it.
Yeah.
4 cardio sessions, 300 calories, which you said equated to like what, 37 minutes about.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's varies for everybody depending on the intensity, but 27 pounds with all of that. And right, this is kind of the point that I was getting at here. The long-winded, as you know, Andrea, that's just my expertise, is all we do is keep making changes. Right now, does this mean
Mhm.
that we can go to 200 calories and just keep seeing the scale go down? No. We have to go through the cycle again, right? We have to eventually stop dieting and reverse and then keep chipping away. So, yeah, dude, this is great. Well, one last thing I want to share before, and hopefully you're okay with this, Andrea, because it is just a data point is we're just gonna share like what Andrea's done. I mean, this is Andrea's transformation photo in the last 6 months, literally 27 pounds down. It looks like 50 pounds, I'm not gonna lie. This is why the number on the scale, does, it's important, but it's not everything. So that's just freaking insane. Andrea, you are amazing. It's been so much fun working with you. And just fun fact, we have another like 10 months together. So this is great.
Mhm.
So last thing I have for you, what we do, reverse dieting, tracking macros. It's easy to think, hey, 5280 training. When you see us on Instagram, it's like, oh, just another fitness coach. What's your biggest piece of advice for anybody who is kind of on the edge, right? They've been watching our stuff. They see all the results. Everyone's crushing it. What's your biggest piece of advice if somebody is on the edge of working with us?
I would say that having the accountability has been great for me because I've done group challenges. I've done things like, like a bunch of people doing like a keto challenge or whatever. But like the one-on-one interaction that we get to have like on a weekly basis with you as our coach, and I'm sure people that have Coach Britt, like the one-on-one interaction is key to me. Like when you randomly send me a text, it does make me feel like so special, I guess is the best way to put it. But like you actually care how I'm doing and like we can have a conversation. It's not like you're this like some coach that is just throwing this information out. It's like very personal. I think that's important. I think one thing that's been huge for me more recently that I didn't really jump into in the beginning is just the community that we have. Like I wasn't like we have the whole app where like we can communicate as a team. And I know that you guys like introduced us. And I think at first I was kind of like busy with work and I was like, okay, I just got to figure this out. But when you get to the nitty gritty of like a fat loss phase and it feels like you're doing the most, just to know that you like have a community where like others are feeling the same thing. There's like conversation in there every day. Like I've really been like leaning into that and like trying to get to know other people and just encouraging other people because I need that in return. So it's just like the personalization that you guys give to us, plus like the community that we have. Like everyone is so uplifting. I can't wait to meet everybody at the next retreat. And just that like when you feel stuck, like I had text you and I was like frustrated and you were like, I've got you, like don't stress. And like that was one thing where like if you're on your own, you don't have that, you know?
Yeah.
Like at first you're like, okay, if you're thinking like I don't know how to do like the macro stuff, there are people that are like, let me help you, let me show you what I'm doing. You know, you have to lean into the community and like it's okay to ask for help. We all started somewhere. Um, so yeah, I would just say like one, don't even think about like the cost because it's your life, right? You only get one life, you only get one body. It's not like you can go exchange it for another one. It is hard work, but just like how you guys personally know each of us, you can change things up when we get stuck. We have such a great community. Everybody's so awesome. Um, Honestly, I would not be where I'm at today without you guys. So
Yeah, I wish I get chills. Like literally it gives me chills because and I appreciate that, Andrea. We do put our heart and soul into this. And when we talk about investment, right? There's a reason why there's value. There's a reason why we're able to give so much. And also myself and Coach Britt, the reason why we were just where you were at. Like we're not just like this, like you said, the fitness coach is like, hey, we look good. Here's how you look like us. That's not it. We
yeah.
went through the struggle, we went through the suck. We
I should
leaned
say
on
you guys also like live by example, right? Like you
yeah.
guys are in the chat, like you guys comment on each other's stuff. You guys are putting stuff in there that you guys are going through. Like obviously like Coach Britt is doing her like competition
Yeah.
thing, right? So just like seeing her posts are like motivating because I'm doing the cardio and I'm like, this sucks at like minute 15. I'm thinking, man, Coach Britt must be like dying every day doing, you know what I mean?
Dude.
So it's like you guys are like living it and breathing it and like are true walking and talking the same things that we're and we see it, right? And
Yeah.
so best way to like have people follow you is to be right alongside of them doing the same thing. So you guys
Yeah,
do
dude.
that.
I like I could legit like tear up. That was like amazing. Just because like, and this is like, yes, we're on an interview, but like this really is our life. We do put our heart and soul into this. So yeah, Andrea, just appreciate you these last 6 months. First part two I've done with anybody because going through the reverse diet. Fun fact, Andrea, we actually just, this is as human beings, we grow and evolve. We really just started implementing our process of reverse dieting, macros, fat loss phase in December. So it's like we felt like from trial and error over the last 4 years, right?
Mhm.
We were like, we found it. Like this is it. Um,
Yeah.
so it's just been really cool to see you go through this, even in the reverse diet. Like you were so good in the reverse diet, I was like, we need to get on an interview because
Yeah.
you just kind of came in full force, and you, like you said, it's because you were ready. You were freaking fed up and you were ready to go. So,
Yeah.
Andrea, I just appreciate you so much for being here once again and all those kind words, guys. Once again, there's the application in the description if you want to just like hop on a call, see if this is the best fit for you. But just appreciate you, Andrea, for being here and being a part of 5280 training, dude. Like I love also that you say this is
Best.
our community. It is your community as well. Like I love that you take pride in that. So yeah, dude, I appreciate you so much, and don't know if I'll see you in team call tonight, but if I don't, I will be talking to you soon, and have a great night.
Thanks.
All
See
right,
you
see ya.
later.